I guess when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. McAllister finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Looking to throw. McAllister. They'll find Metcalf. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards, the final tally. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Andy Isabella was the intended target. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on second change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 9 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
He's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
On 2nd and 7, Allen. And he'll complete this one to Berrios. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. Allen now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. This is Mack on the counter. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Got a man, it's Berrios, complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one.
And the ball is knocked out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
As I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game, because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit. Come on now, let's go!
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
On 1st and 10, McAllister. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Myers connects on the PAT. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes...
They've got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This thrown quickly out to Jones.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. First carry for James Conner. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. To the air. Allen under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap. And the pressure gets to him again.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Bullock's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 2nd and 5. He's got a man wide open, complete. There he goes, right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On third down, a run by Mack. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bills send the punter out. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You've got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And how about that for just running out the clock? Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. McAllister to the right side and complete to Metcalf. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the 1st down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. Looking to throw. McAllister. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Fielded about a yard deep. So we have reached half. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy it.
And he loses the football a second time. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to dock my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll go again here with Matt. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Vita Vea racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Come on, fellas.
Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Get it together, defense. Let's get it together. 54. Let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flushed out right. And Isabella there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A run by Mack to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Allen. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off here, the 32.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over above 50 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On 1st down, McAllister. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Andy Isabella with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And here come the Bills. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Allen now throwing on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You ain't going nowhere.
Back to throw. McAllister. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, McAllister steps away to his left. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. To throw on 3rd down, McAllister. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do it.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 15. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Jones has it. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Coverage there by the former first-round pick, William Jackson. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw again. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk it. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. The team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear that?
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
58 for Mike. Hey, that's it.
Throwing on 1st down. McAllister, and he rifles one incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's Williams on the catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Mike's 49. Mike's 40. Let's go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That ball complete to Isabella. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
We've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing, too.
No, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
I'm going to forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Throwing is Allen on third. It's caught. Jones. That one goes for 24 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. To throw again on second down. Allen. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Well, Charles, it's